Smart calling is very simply knowing something about the people. Well, yeah, and really it all has to start prior to the phone call. So do you want me to go through those steps?
Yeah.
How we really make the call smart? Well, the first step in the process, and let me define what smart calling is. Smart calling is very simply knowing something about the people and the organizations and the industries that we're calling into, what's going on in their world that might make them interested or might make them a good prospect for what I have. So, and of course, we all would rather talk to somebody who knows something about us as opposed to the salesperson who's smiling and dialing and everybody's getting the same pitch. And what's really great about the environment that we're living in today, as opposed to when I started in corporate sales 30 years ago, is that back in the day, we had to go through directories and go to the libraries, where today, with a couple of keystrokes, I can find out tremendous amounts of information, more information than I'm going to need or use about prospects. And then what I'm going to do is take that process one step further to get even more information about my prospect. And I do this through a process called social engineering. Now, social engineering is simply calling into an organization and asking questions of anyone that we can talk to. For example, in my case, a great place to call into is the sales department, because we all know they like to talk, right? So I'll call into the sales department and I'll introduce myself and I'll let them know that I'm not a prospect for you, but what I have may be of some potential value, or you may be affected by it. And I'd like to ask you a few questions. And what I do is ask them questions about their sales process, their training. Do they do any prospecting? Is their training any good? What kind of results do they get? What do they wish they could have that would make them better prospectors? What kind of problems are they running into? What kind of initiatives do they have? And now I have all this information when I call up a VP of sales, because I've been talking to their own salespeople.